Okay, my name is Elena Stanton, and this is my Weebly for my lesson plan. My website title is elenaendangered.weebly.com. My lesson is on endangered species. Title of my lesson rather is animal endangerment across the globe. So in general, this is lesson plan is basically about how human activity has led to the endangerment of certain species. A little bit down here about myself, the author, and going on to the lesson plan. So this page is pretty basic, but here's my lesson plan attached right here, and I actually already have it ready to open. Okay, and so topic is endangered species, as I said before. Goals are to understand how humans and the environment affect animal endangerment, and to gain knowledge about critically endangered species across the globe. That's basically the broad thing about it. This lesson is really geared toward. So the subject is environmental science. This is for 8th grade level. Objective, student will be able to list factors that led to the endangerment of species, and students will be able to demonstrate how to use a website to access information on endangered species, and students will be able to demonstrate how to use PowerPoint to organize information on endangered species. So while they are learning about endangered species through this, they are definitely putting technology to use in this lesson plan. So step one, start off with the first technology activity for sure. That is a video that I'll show later. I won't play it, but it's a good starter video. I'll explain why later. Then after the YouTube video, just reinforce to the students, because you always just want to remind them, just give them a nugget of what they just watched. So basically just let them know that the endangerment of these animals is largely due to some form of human interference or environmental change. So use the rest of the class time to let them do their student activity, which is the second technology activity, and have those listed right here. I'll go into detail, like I said, a little bit later. But essentially, that second activity, they're going to be creating a PowerPoint. They can be grouped into groups, or well, rather than students can be put into groups for the assignment, but it's not really mandatory. Basically, what it is, students are just going on this website, pulling basic information and creating it, organizing it into PowerPoint fashion. I have an example of that to show a little later, but just opening up this website, I mean, very, very easy. That link is there. All these endangered species listed right here. Teacher, like I said, picked 3 of them for students to cover. Every student, should have the same species in case, this teacher wants to test on it later down the road. And let's see, I'll click on black rhino. Website has the picture of a black rhino. Over here shows the population, scientific name, height, weight, habitat, where it lives, and just information, about the endangerment of rhinos, why they are important animals, and how they became a threat. And, how they became critically endangered, which is an important part of the lesson plan. And, like it says right here, the increase is driven by growing demand from Asian consumers. So, just talking about how their horns are really valuable and how that has put them at risk, and hammering the point about human interference causing endangerment. So this website is really straightforward. Everything that's asked for the assignment, such as the name of the animal, why they're threatened, and what's being done to save the species, remaining population, habitat, all that's on the website. So it's easy to knock out 3 species. I think an 8th grader could definitely do that in about 15 minutes, really, if they wanted to just make it look really pretty and everything, and include an image of the animal for each slide that they do, or animal. Materials required, need computers for sure, a projector screen for the the YouTube video for the first technology activity, PowerPoint, and Wi-Fi. The Common Core benchmark standards analyze the consequences of human activities on global Earth systems. That's the only one I found that was related to environmental science, and more specifically this lesson plan. So here's the rubric for the student technology activity. Basically, content is important because there's really no reason nothing should not be filled in. It's not a brain teaser or anything like that, this PowerPoint assignment. So really everything that's asked for should be there. Use of graphics, because they're supposed to have an image for every animal, so at least 3 graphics. And neatness, of course, don't have stuff everywhere all over the place. So I'll show an example of that coming up. So here we have technology examples, and I just have the YouTube video listed right here. And like I said, start off the class with this. It gets the student's mind prepared for what they're about to do for the rest of the class. It's a very good overview of what's going on with endangerment of animals. So here's the example of the PowerPoint. It's gonna come up real big here, but let me shrink it down so you can see. Okay, so it's kind of zoomed in really close, but you could see that I just titled it, example, because this will be the student's title right here, which should be something like endangered species, whatever class it is, yada yada. And then their names down here, and here's an example of how the information would be listed in a neat fashion, remaining population, habitat, a fun fact about the animal, I think I forgot to mention that earlier, threat, poaching because of their horns, and what is being done. Very, very easy. And same thing with the second species, and same thing with third species. So just using this first slide right here as a model. And that is it for the endangered species lesson plan.